Hello and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you all the latest news and updates from different parts of the world in 30 minutes. Let's quickly begin. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on Friday inaugurated Tribhuvan University Central Library, 25 schools, 32 health facilities and cultural sector projects as well. Dr. S. Jaishankar appreciated the partnership of both the governments and said the inauguration shows concrete delivery of commitments made by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Nepal's post-earthquake reconstruction. Enhancing religious and cultural ties with Nepal, Dr. S. Jaishankar began the second and final day of his visit with offering prayers at Pashupatinath Temple in Kathmandu. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar also planted Rudraksh saplings to support mission life and encourage putting India's efforts into preventing damage from climate change. Vice President of India, Jagdeep Thankar, formally inaugurated the NCC Republic Day Camp 2024 in New Delhi. During the inaugural event, the Vice President recalls his days spent in the National Cadet Corps. Commending the increased female participation within the NCC, Jagdeep Thankar stated that female cadets will proudly march down the Kartavya Path in 2 exclusive contingents with 2 female bands on this Republic Day. A parliamentary delegation from Bulgaria, led by National Assembly President Rosen Zelsiakov, met Vice President of India Jagdeep Thankar at his residence in New Delhi and held discussions highlighting friendly ties between the two nations. Ahead of Ram Temple consecration ceremony in India, a grand 3-story 3D form of the temple is being prepared with the help of medium-density fiberboard wood in Barabanki town in the state of Uttar Pradesh. India's Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, approved the proposal to declare Ayodhya Airport as an international airport. The Cabinet has also approved the proposal of naming Ayodhya Airport as Maharishi Valmiki International Airport, Ayodhya Dham. Indian Space Research Organisation successfully tests a 100-watt class polymer electrolyte membrane fuel cell-based power system with its orbital platform POEM-3. The Indian Navy sprung into action as the news of Liberian flagged ship being hijacked in Arabian Sea near the coast of Somalia with 15 Indian crew members aboard. The Indian Navy deployed INS Chennai warship to monitor the maritime security operations and ensure the safety of the crew. Indian security forces carried out the Republic Day parade rehearsals amid dense fog and chill winters in the Indian capital city. The Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra has reached India's Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The IAC van arrived in the state's Pooch district, where the local communities welcomed it with great enthusiasm. Javed Ahmed Mattu, a wanted terrorist associated with Hizbul Mujahideen, has been caught in India's national capital, Delhi, by the Special Cell of Delhi Police. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has submitted 3 nominations from India for Wetland City Accreditation of Indore, Bhopal and Udaipur under Ramsar Convention on Wetlands. Another cold day for India's New Delhi as there is a continuous decline in temperature across North Delhi. As per Indian Meteorological Department, the cold will persist for next 2 to 3 days. Moving on to business and economy, at close, the Sensex was up 178.58 points, up 0.25%. Nifty was up 52.2 points, up 0.24%. MCX February gold futures were up by 0.05% from Thursday's closing price. March silver futures were up by 0.23%. Oil prices gained on Friday as U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited the Middle East to try and prevent the Israel-Gaza conflict from widening. Brent crude futures were up 44 cents to $78.03 a barrel, while the U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose 57 cents to $72.76 a barrel. Indian rupee ended higher at 83.16 per dollar versus previous close of 83.23. U.S. stock indices futures slipped on Friday and signaled losses for the first week of 2024 as the investors awaited a key job report that could test expectations for an early start of Federal Reserve's easing cycle. All three of the major U.S. indexes are set to end the week in the red. According to United Nations World Economic Situation and Prospects report, India is projected to grow at 6.2% in 2024, supported by robust domestic demand and strong growth in manufacturing and services sectors. Indonesian rescuers battled to extricate two people trapped between railway cars and commuter trains collided in West Java province. In total, at least 3 people were killed while 28 were injured in an Indonesian rail crash. South Korea alleged that more than 200 coastal artillery shells were fired on Friday morning by the north. However, no damage was reported due to the firings. U.S. State Secretary Antony Blinken departed for a week-long trip to the Middle East as fears of a broader regional conflagration grew. Russia said it destroyed multiple Ukrainian combat vehicles and also assaulted its military personnel in multiple directions. Ukraine said 44 combat clashes took place in the frontline areas and Russian air defense units struck. Brazilian agribusiness firm SLC Agricola's cotton bales warehouse was hit by a fire where almost 5,000 bales of cotton were damaged. North Korea's Kim Jong-un called for boosting production of various missile launch vehicles, calling it an important task to prepare for a military showdown with the enemies. At least 26 people sustained minor injuries in a subway derailment on the Upper West Side of New York City. Bangladesh will vote in general elections on the 7th of January, with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina vying for her 4th consecutive term. The wreckage of Japan Airlines flight that burst into flames after colliding with a Coast Guard plane is set to be removed from a tarmac at Tokyo's Haneda Airport. Former Guatemalan President Otto Perez entered house arrest after being imprisoned since 2015 on corruption conviction. A 6th grader was killed and 5 other people wounded when a 17-year-old student opened fire at an Iowa school in the USA. The shooting at Iowa school also prompted Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy to cancel a scheduled campaign event in the town. US said it carried out a retaliatory strike in Baghdad, killing a militia leader who allegedly carried out recent attacks on the US personnel. Funeral homes in La Paz staged a rally with hearses, leading a protest against a hike in municipal burial fee. New York City filed a lawsuit accusing multiple bus companies of violating state law by transporting more than 33,000 migrants to the city from Texas. Israeli troops held live fire drills in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. The drills took place one day after the head of Lebanon's Hezbollah warned Israel for repercussions over attack on Hamas. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with U.S. Special Envoy Amos Hochstein, who traveled to Israel to work to soothe tensions between Israel and Hezbollah. White House said the U.S. was in no position to doubt Islamic State's claim that it was responsible for the 3rd of January attack in Iran that killed nearly 100 people. The White House said North Korea recently provided Russia with ballistic missiles and launchers for use in Moscow's war against Ukraine. Eyewitness video shot by a resident showed Wajima residents escaping from a landslide after a deadly earthquake struck the Japanese city in Ishikawa Prefecture. The death toll from the massive earthquake in Japan climbed to 100 in the central Japanese prefecture of Ishikawa, while the number of people unaccounted for surged to 242. Migrants stranded in South Mexico accused officials of dispersing a U.S.-bound caravan they were traveling in. A fisherman was rescued after surviving in water for 23 hours off the coast of New Zealand after falling off his boat. Peru has turned into the birdiest country in the world with 1,879 species registered in its territory, surpassing former leader Colombia. Glynis Johns, the husky-voiced British actress most widely known for her role as a suffragette in the 1964 blockbuster Mary Poppins, passed away at the age of 100. A heavy rainstorm in central England caused a major river to burst its banks, turning the fields into swamps. The floodwaters submerged the streets and houses in northern France as floods dumped rain on already saturated ground on Thursday. Belgium train services from Brussels to Luxembourg remain suspended due to flooding threatening on rail bridge as the country experienced high water levels for a third day. United States women's hockey team performed the traditional dance of the Indian state of Jharkhand as the team arrived in Ranchi city ahead of the International Hockey Federation Olympic qualifiers. The 5-day national level Winter Carnival Festival is underway in Indian state of Himachal Pradesh's Manali. The festival showcases the cultural heritage of Himachal state. Traditional songs and dances were the main attraction of the event. Asia's largest brackish water lagoon, Chilika Lake in eastern Indian state, Odisha, received more than 1 million winged guests. Birds, mostly from Russia and Central Asian countries, visit Chilika Lake every winter to escape the biting cold in their homelands and in search of food. In the Indian state of Chhattisgarh, a tigress gave birth to 2 cubs at Maitri Park Zoo 4 months ago, but the information regarding the birth was not disclosed due to security reasons. With the 2 new members, the total number of white tiger and tigresses in Maitri Park Zoo has now reached to 10. A case study on success story of Made in India toys revealed that the Indian toy industry has registered a rise of 239% in exports in 2022-23 as compared to 2014-15. Government of India has undertaken a series of initiatives including the formulation of a comprehensive plan like the National Action Plan for Toys to promote the Indian toy industry. India submitted 3 nominations for accreditation as international wetland cities, which are Indore, Bhopal and Udaipur. The wetland city accreditation aims to promote conservation and wise use of urban and peri-urban wetlands. A baby elephant that was separated from its herd in southern India's Anamali Tiger Reserve was reunited with its mother. Drone images captured the scene of the reunited pair lying down together and the baby snuggling to its mother. A fisherman, Will Franson, had an extraordinary escape after spending nearly 24 hours in the ocean after falling off his boat on Tuesday. The fisherman survived treading water for 23 hours off the coast of New Zealand. A shark briefly circled him, but he was rescued by a passing boat. Paleontologists in Argentina discovered a new species of long-necked dinosaur that went extinct 90 million years ago. They have unearthed fossil remains of 4 dinosaurs so far. China's Harbin city has been attracting record numbers of visitors with its grand and intricate ice sculptures. Over the New Year holiday, the Harbin city's annual Ice and Snow Festival helped draw more than 3 million visitors, generating over $100 million in tourism revenue. Denmark's Queen Margrethe II defied a cold spell to ride through the streets of Copenhagen in a gold-coated horse carriage. The 83-year-old Danish queen was on final carriage ride as monarch before handing over the throne to her son Crown Prince Frederik next week. A life experience center set up at the Kiang Phu Nursing College in Macau depicts the life cycle of a person in 5 stages. The facility aims to take the visitors on a journey to the life cycle through various equipment and interactive experiences. One of them is the labor pain simulator. The 47th Cottbog Film Festival will take place from January the 26th till the 4th of February in Sweden. The leading film festival of Scandinavia will show around 250 films from over 80 countries. Star Wars actor Ewan McGregor to be felicitated with Honorary Dragon Award for career achievement at the film festival in Sweden. British actress Glynis Jones, renowned for her blockbuster 1964 movie Mary Poppins, passed away at the age of 100. The 30th anniversary of the iconic British pop group, the Spice Girls, all set to be celebrated by UK's Royal Mail by issuing a commemorative set of 15 stamps. Tidal Wave Comics to release 22-page comic book depicting K-pop BTS's sensational rise. The book will be released in both print and digital formats on the 10th of January. British animated sitcom Mr. Bean is set to return worldwide in 2025 with its 4th season. Rowan Atkinson will reprise his voice as the role. American comedian and actor Joe Coy rolls out the red carpet ahead of hosting the 2024 Golden Globe Awards. The event will take place on the 8th of January in California. Much anticipated third installment of the horror comedy Bollywood movie Bhool Bhulaiya starring Kartik Aaryan is set to go on the floors this March. American action spy film called Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is all set to make its OTT debut. The movie will premiere on the 11th of January on Amazon Prime. Bollywood actors Hrithik Roshan and Deepika Padukone star area action film Fighter is set to be released on the 25th of January. On to sports now. Indian team victory in the second test match against South Africa has improved India's position at the World Test Championships points table. The Rohit Sharma-led side is now at the helm with 54.16 percentage points, while the Proteas slipped to the second spot with 50 percentage points. Australian paceman Josh Hazlewood took 4 wickets for 9 runs against Pakistan to tip the scales towards the home side in the third test match. Pakistan reels on 68 for a loss of 7 wickets with a lead of 82 runs. Australian opener David Warner's impassioned appeal for the return of his missing baggy green cap for his final test has been successful, with the rucksack containing the iconic headwear discovered at the team hotel in Sydney. South African former Paralympic star Oscar Pistorius has been released on parole nearly 11 years after murdering his girlfriend Reeva Steenkamp. A monitoring official will keep an eye on him until his sentence expires in December 2029, whom Pistorius will have to inform if he seeks job opportunities or moves to a new address. Caroline Garcia helped France clinch a spot in the United Cup semi-finals as she beat Malene Helgo in singles and partnered with Eduard Roger Vesseline to win the doubles decider in a 2-1 victory over Norway in Sydney. Ilkay Gundogan's controversial stoppage time penalty earned Barcelona a 2-1 comeback victory at 10-man Las Palmas in an ill-tempered La Liga match. Crystal Palace and Everton will meet again in the FA Cup third round after the Toffees had Dominic Calvert-Lewin sent off in the 79th minute of a 0-0 draw at Selhurst Park. And the Olympic Aquatic Centre, one of only 2 facilities being built in the Paris region for the upcoming Summer Olympic Games, will run 90% on renewable energy. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere, keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.